So I started this trip out by missing the bus, and it's a bus trip. So that's not the best way to start a trip. And I'm trying not to look at this as a sign that I shouldn't go. But anyway, when it comes to knowing when a bus arrives at a bus stop in Panama, you can never really know because they don't list the times. What they do list is the times for when it leaves, when it departs its original destination. So in this case, the bus I wanted is going from Panama City all the way to Frontera, which is the border of Costa Rica and Panama. It has one stop in David, which is like the second largest, well, it is the second largest city in Panama. So we knew it departed sometime around 6 in the morning, and it takes about 2.5, 3 hours to get to where we are located on the beach side of the country. So we just kind of made our best guess at when that would be and headed down the hill to the bus stop and made a stop at the gas station first because I have to buy water for this 7-hour bus ride and get some cash because you pay for the bus with cash. The ATM machine malfunctioned because it's Panama, and this machine multiple times for me has caused problems. So I had to do my card transaction thing a couple of times. I get my cash, we get in the car, go to the bus stop, and the bus flies by. So that damn ATM machine made me miss the bus. So Sylvie gets out and notices there's a guy there at the bus stop and starts talking with him. Apparently, this is the guy you need to talk to anyway to get on the bus. So I wouldn't have known that. And he's the one, he asks you where you're going. You tell him, he notifies the upcoming bus that they need to stop, and then you can get on. I wouldn't have known that. I would have just been sitting there like an idiot waiting for the bus to come pick me up, and it would have just flown by anyway. So there's no way I would have ever caught that bus. So he tells us that there's another one coming in an hour. So we go back up the hill. I booked the Airbnb that I'm going to stay at that night and head back down, catch the bus. Get on this bus. It's like a double-decker. And they tell me immediately to go up to the top side. I thought maybe I'd have an option of where I wanted to sit, but I guess the bottom's reserved for, I don't know, maybe like elderly or handicapped types or special types. I don't know what you call them today. People with needs. People. I don't know. So anyway, I go up to the top. The whole freaking bus is dark. It's 10 a.m. in the morning. I thought I was taking like a daytime bus ride. But everyone in there is like sleeping. They're like asleep, and like all the curtains are drawn over the windows. So naturally, I can't see where all the empty seats are. Like I can't even see anything. It's dark in the bus. I see the first available seat. And sit in there. It's next to some young kid. He's on his phone, like just playing like a racing game. Doesn't even acknowledge that I exist. And I'm just sitting there next to him. That's cool. I get it. Like young kids don't acknowledge shit. But after a minute, I realized there's another available seat behind me that's like both seats. So I can have some space, some privacy, and a window. I go to that, get on my window seat, and I'm thinking this will be great, a bus ride with a view. I can like look out the window, and then I notice it's just like, you know, like the section in an airplane, like between the windows. So that's what I got. And then of course the blinds they're pulled. So I'm like peeking out through like a slit, you know, like, and that's cool. But overall, you know, I'd say the seats were comfortable. They had the air conditioner blasting on full, but it really wasn't that cold. Everyone told me it was going to be really cold. I kept hearing stories about how the buses are freezing and you need to bring a sweatshirt. So I brought one, and I'm just sitting there like the whole time, and I'm almost slightly warm. I don't know. And then they got a bunch of those air freshener things like lining both sides of the bus. So I'm just getting blasted with the smell of that air freshener into my face with the air conditioning. Either way, the seat was comfortable. It was an enjoyable ride, and it was very nice, on the way there. I gotta say, though, on the way, I noticed there's like, in Panama, they'll memorialize the dead by painting hearts on the street, on the road, where the accident happened. And I was like in the bus for an hour already, and I'm like trying to pay attention to like if this feels still right to take this trip, if everything's good. And I look over and I see on the other side of the road there's like 15 hearts like lined up, and I'm just thinking like, what could cause that? Like can't imagine a pile up like causing that, like right here. And then my only conclusion was it had to be a bus. So I was like trying not to psych myself out, thinking like, is that a sign? Like is this bus like doomed? So like I got that out of my head, and it was all good. So I brought some food to eat, some beef jerky, beef sticks, and a half chocolate bar and a bottle of water, because that's good food to me. And I got hungry, ate it all, and then like immediately afterward, we stopped at like a halfway point where there was a restaurant, and everyone got out to go stand in line and eat, and it was like a half an hour or 40-minute stop. And I was like, I wish I would have known, or I wouldn't have just eaten the whole bag of beef jerky just like 15 minutes earlier. So I instead went and got a coffee and just sat there in the heat drinking my hot coffee. And then yeah, that was nice, just kind of hanging there for a while. Always good to get off the bus. So we'd considered taking a family trip ourselves instead of me going alone on the bus, and maybe just, using the money that I would use for a hotel and the bus and just put it toward a family trip. We decided not to, and that was a good thing, because I'd forgotten there's like controls that are on the highway, and they check your passports. And if they'd done that and we were driving, they would have impounded our car, because I would have been driving illegally at that point in Panama. So it was a really good thing I wasn't driving. So we get to the final destination, the border, and I step off the bus, and it's not even one moment before I already hear like a whistle and somebody trying to get my attention. I hadn't even stepped out and looked around yet. It was literally just stepped out and then whistle. That's how it goes. And it's, of course, some like young 20-year-old kid, and he's using this hand motion and like signing at me, and he's saying, "Stamp, stamp? And I'm like, he's asking if I'm going to get a passport stamp. And I don't even care. I don't want to respond to him. He doesn't need to know what I'm doing. So what if I am getting a stamp? I'm assuming that you just walk up to the border and like you get an exit stamp as you're leaving. Like, I don't know why he would think I need his help to direct me to the freaking building right in front of me that is colored with the colors of the flag of Panama with giant letters on it that say Panama. I don't know why he'd think I need his help for a stamp. So I'm telling him I don't need his help. No thanks. I'm walking towards the border, and he just keeps walking with me, of course, bugging me. And like he starts like walking to the right, and like some reason I kind of just keep walking with him that way. And then I just walk through the border, like to the right instead of the left where I should have gone. Because he like discombobulated my directions. So I just walked through. I literally just walked through the border of Panama to Costa Rica, and nobody freaking noticed. And then, of course, while I'm still like trying to recollect my thoughts, like then somebody else whistles at me like taxi. You know what I mean? Do I want a taxi? And it's like, yes, I want a taxi. I'm going to get my stamp to enter Costa Rica. So I get in the taxi, and he knows where I'm going. I got to get the entrance. I got to get the stamp for Costa Rica. So he takes me to the what do you recall it? I don't know, the immigration, the border. He takes me there. They drop me on the street, which I later found out from my wife that her taxi driver like dropped her off at the entrance, like gave her door-to-door service, and like. Being a guy, I'm just like, they ditch me out on the road, the highway, and I gotta like hoof it over to the freaking immigration. But I walk through, and I go up to the officer to get my stamp, and he looks at it, and he's like, "Where's your exit stamp?" So I gotta head all the way back to Panama. It's like 5 kilometers. I stand out on the road for a while, like try to catch another taxi. Go back through to where I was originally going to walk before Duder freaking interrupted me, and got my exit stamp. And then taxi again, back to Costa Rica, got my entrance stamp, and then taking me to my Airbnb. When I got here and opened the gate, I had 2 of those Scottish Terrier dogs. I actually hate those types. Sorry if you have those dogs. They're just the yappiest types, so barking their heads off at my legs, literally nipping my legs as I'm walking to the door of this unit. So, what a welcome. And but anyway, the unit's very clean, it's nice, it's large, has everything you need. And yeah. This little beast is going to terrorize me now. He's made himself right there at my door, guarding my door. Little beast. Hi. Oh my God. Oh wow. Beautiful. Alright, I'm going to do something I never do and order food for delivery because I don't feel like taking a 40-minute walk to town in the dark and the rain. Good. Look how stupid that dog is. Get the away. What are you doing? Get away. Get away. Hey, all right. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Let's have it. This is a decoration Leia made for me. It's a bunch of kitties holding hands. This is one of 2 things Niley made for me. Here's one that Bunny made for me. And then we've got one more like this. Okay, first thing in the morning, man. Let's see if we can get back across the border. Sun's getting bright, but we're gonna wait here. No taxis yet. It's a 40-minute walk. I'll just start walking until I get a taxi, or just walk the whole way there. Supposedly that's the exit stamp. There's a line of like 100 people to get out right now. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go get coffee or something first, get breakfast. I guess I'll just take a later bus. Yes. No, no. Let's go try this exit stamp again. Hope the line's gone down. Well, that was in and out about as fast as you can go. One of these times I'm going to have to take a trip just for explorative purposes instead of these quick in and outs just for a legal purpose. Didn't have a whole lot of time to explore the whole town, just mainly around the entrance of the border. The breakfast was real nice. I didn't get at all even close to what I was trying to order in Spanish, but sometimes that's a blessing because you end up trying new things. There's no menu, which I really appreciate, because you just order what you want or you just get what you get, and it's like good home cooking, and so yeah, enjoyable breakfast. Let's walk to the house and surprise those girls. So one of the best parts about leaving your family, with the intention to return, of course, is the welcome home. Walking through the door to the yells and excitement of children yelling your name, Daddy! And it's happened to me before. That's a reality that I've lived. It's happened just leaving for an hour or two to do photo sessions on a 30-minute drive up to Lake Tahoe and back. So this time, especially after being gone for a night, I expected nothing else from my sweet children. In this case, I actually hadn't been in contact with Sylvie because didn't have data. So it was even a better opportunity to surprise my family that I'd made it home. They had no idea if I'd actually caught the bus that day and was making it home. I get back, I walk up the driveway, and go to the gate. It's locked. We only have one key, and I'm stuck out here, so I'm going to have to let Sylvie know I'm home. One little surprise already ruined. While I'm standing there, I notice that I hear the shower running. The girls are all in the shower. All three of the girls. Now I know that, I have to let Sylvie know that I'm home, get the girls dressed, and, I can't be having them on the video camera naked. It's just not YouTube policy. So I get on Wi-Fi now that I'm back home, text her, and I immediately hear that she's going into the bathroom and telling them, Daddy's home, let's get the shower off and get dressed. And she's rushing around in there, and I'm waiting outside the gate, meanwhile, getting bitten up and attacked by mosquitoes. And these things are landing on the video device just because it has the scent of a human hand on it. And I'm just trying not to let my excitement and the good vibe and the good feelings, I'm trying not to let it drop, because I really want to greet my children and my family with happiness and good vibes. You want to have it feel good that Daddy's home. And I'm waiting there, and as I'm waiting longer, waiting for him, and just fighting off the mosquitoes, my energy just starts to drop. And by the time they come out, the girls aren't overly excited like they normally would be, because they already knew I was there and they're getting dressed to come out to see me. So, that excitement's already worn off. And then I'm already now telling Sylvie, oh man, the timing, you know what I mean? I can't believe the timing right now, they had to be taking a shower, and then that immediately just drops her mood down, and already now we got this thing going on. I can tell that she's already disliking me very much as a human being, and doesn't knowing that the first thing I do when I come back is start complaining. And believe me, I wanted to avoid this at all costs, but somehow I think it was the mosquitoes that just they just dropped my mood. And anyway, we ended up working it out, but I took no video of that, and it might have made for a great video. Maybe I should have. But either way, here's a video clip of how I wished it would have gone.